Surprise, motherfucker.
We got new shows every Sunday.
And the Ramblings with Rob.
Here we go.
What up, everybody? This your boy B-Rob, and I'm back with another edition of the Random Ramblings with Rob podcast. First and foremost, I'd like to thank you, the listener, for coming back each and every week, or however you listen to podcasts. And you listen to me rustle around in my Pop-Tart baggie. And if anybody recommended you to me, I would like for you to go on ahead and lean over and give that person a crisp high five. And while you do that, I'm going to bite this Pop-Tart. What's that, ASMR? Whatever it is. You're off to a good start if somebody recommended you to me. You know, give them that high five. And if you don't feel comfortable doing that because of monkeypox and whatever have you, go ahead and take out your cell phone or whatever it is that you use your apps on and send that person a DM using your favorite social media app of choice and tell them thank you for recommending you to me. And if you're on your social media device, you can find the Random Ramblings with Rob on various areas within the social media network, to include Twitter. Man, this Pop-Tart is delicious. At 3R Show. Instagram at The 3R Show. And YouTube, you can see some actual interviews from the show. And TikTok at 3R Show. And for whatever I've forgotten to mention, you can go to randomrob.com. randomrob.com, where you can also find many different ways to help support the show and our illustrious sponsor, Hooks, Rubs, and Spices. Go to hooksrub.com and you can get 15% off your order by using promo code RANDOM. I wonder if I could put some Hooks Rubs on this motherfucking Pop-Tart. It's a s'mores Pop-Tart, if you were wondering what flavor it was. I don't know, maybe some Mad Cow might go good on this. But anyway, go to hooksrub.com and get that 15% off using promo code RANDOM. Here we are, Monday night. We are, 1 hour and some change into the 3-hour extravaganza known as Monday Night Raw. Is under new rule of creative Mr. Paul Liversplash, whatever the fuck his name is, Triple H. He's running the show now. And there's been some changes. There's been like continuity throughout shows, things that you notice in the background that's happening, just all kinds of creative shenanigans is going on. There's still a little bit of a wash and rinse and repeat, but they are making some headways and some strides and whatnot. I am seeing the difference, and I can see the difference because I'm actually kind of watching it, seeing what's happening and whatnot. But yeah, that's all it is. Coming to you late on a Monday evening because I was out of town. I went to my hometown of Lake Charles, Louisiana, which is slowly decaying into nothing, ravaged by all kinds of tropical storms and tornadoes, hurricanes, whatever have you during the hurricane season, which is not over yet. We ain't safe until after November and whatnot. That would be a great Christmas gift or a Thanksgiving treat to not have Louisiana and all those southern Gulf states get fucked up by tropical storms and hurricanes and all kinds of shit. So yeah, my town is in a decline. Houses ravaged, businesses destroyed, vacating from the city and whatnot. The only thing that's thriving is the goddamn chemical plant in Westlake and sulfur and all that, and motherfucking casinos, because everybody is gambling because they're depressed. Or they're working there because, it's just really the big money paying joints in town or whatnot. Unless you're in the medical field, then that's something. Or you can go work at Walmart. There's literally 3 of them, all 3 points of Lake Charles, on the north side, the south side, and over there in the back corner by the casinos and all that. So you are triangulated by all the Walmarts and everything, which I did visit this weekend, and I there were some choices that weren't made over there on the one on Highway 14 because they police they shit. They ain't have no shenanigans in the alcohol aisle and whatnot. I came back home, had some parts. I customized me another original Game Boy DMG. Got the clear case with red buttons and the red screen, and it's functioning and it's thriving and whatnot. So I put this thing together I salvaged it. They said it was broken. I fixed it, rebuilt it, rehabbed it, made it like, stronger, faster, and all these other things. So now I done completely put this thing together and it's looking pristine and working like a charm. I don't know if I want to get rid of it because, the goal was to get a couple of these units real cheap, rehab them, clean them up, fix them, and put them back on the market for somebody else to have and love and to cherish and, relive their childhood just as I did, refurbishing these freaking, handheld consoles and shit. And now I done did it, and I'm having a hard time letting this motherfucker go. So I don't know. It remains to be seen. I bought one initially, rehabbed it, got it to work, recased it, and gave that to the young child because she is in the phase of collecting retro handheld consoles. She just this weekend acquired a Game Boy Advance and everything. So now she has an original Game Boy DMG, a Game Boy Pocket, a Game Boy Color, a Game Boy Advance, and a Game Boy SP, a Nintendo DS Lite, and I think a Nintendo DS2 XL. I'm not sure on the nomenclature on that one, but she has those to include a 2000 series PSP and a Game Gear. So the PSP and the Game Gear, I had to rehab those things and get those working. The Game Boy DMG, I rehabbed that and got those working. And the Game Boy Pocket, I rehabbed that one, got that working. And she bought the rest of them. So I rehabbed all these things for relatively cheap, compared to, going to one of these third-party stores or, somewhere getting a working one and whatnot. And it didn't really cost me anything to repair them other than upgrades that I wanted to do to them. So, yeah, it's a fun process and everything. And RBR is thriving. Having fun doing the Patreon shows and whatnot. Having fun engaging with the guys and gals over in the Discord chat, which is a perk for being a Patreon to the show. They recommended some music to me this weekend. Or a conversation was had and it was talked about certain artists. One being I don't even know the dude name. XXXtentacion, Taste Sensation, whatever the fuck his name was. I did not hear about that man until his untimely death. Also heard he was a piece of shit in life anyway. I kind of say it's karma that got him and why he wound up in the situation that he was in. But still, nonetheless, that's somebody's child and everything. So, can't speak ill of the dead, but if they're a piece of shit, they're a piece of shit, no matter the consequences. But I never heard his music outside of Lil Wayne's Carter 5. There was some audio sampled to make one of Wayne's songs on there, and I believe they released I guess what would be his last album, and got some stuff on there. Never listened to that, but through the Discord, through our lovely patrons for RBR Weekly Wrestling Talk, they gave me a recommendation. Cody, our co-host, and Noah, they recommended the Question Mark album, which I believe came out in 2018. Don't get me lying about these dates. Let me. I don't want to be lying to you. I want to see what the date is. Okay, it was released in 2018, from what I could see at first glance on the intranets, and that was the one they recommended. And then you could tell with some of his earlier work, I believe he may have had 2 albums prior to that, or mixtapes, or whatever the case may be. And I listened to it, and to me it sounded highly experimental, and I believe he even said that so much so in the intro for the album and whatnot, so he said he was just trying things and been trying to be creative and something along those lines. And this album truly showed the essence of that, trying something new and different or whatever, or just kind of, put out there what comes to your soul. Majority of the album I did not so much like it, because to me it suffered from what a lot of the artists of the generation suffer from. And what Sir John Lee, and I'm not saying he coined this phrase, but whenever I think of this, I think of him and him saying the words on this podcast. Sir John Lee, he said there's a thing that's called audible clarity. That should be able to understand the words that are coming out of your mouth. So a lot of this stuff on here is all this, highly edited and auto-tuned shit. So there's a lot of and it's garbled mush mouth ass shit. And that's kind of what the music is now. But I did find some things I like. It was I think an 18-track album. I was going to listen to the deluxe album, but it was that shit was too long. It looked like it was 4 albums in one. So I went to the I guess what would be the original cut. And he does a lot of harmonizing or singing. I'm doing air quotes because, you understand when you hear all these newer guys and how they make all this goddamn noise and all this other bullshit. But he could rap or whatnot, but it was only on songs that were featured by someone else. And it almost makes you feel like the person that was featured on the song made him rap. It's like, I don't normally do this, but since you on here rapping, I guess I gotta rap too. That's kind of what it felt like. And I think out of the whole 18-track project, I think I might have found 3 songs that I kind of liked. But then it wasn't like his normal moody, sad boy freaking rap garble mess. It was like him actually kind of putting some lyrics to beats and whatnot. And I think I enjoyed the features more than his shit, So yeah, because I got a song on there with Joey Badass and stuff and some other people that I'd never really heard of, but I liked their shit more than his. Also, a recommendation was another man that died way too young, Lil Peep. Never heard of Peep out of Lil Peep, and I took a chance on the Hellboy album that came out that Noah recommended to me and some of the other guys in the chat, and I did not like it. Some of what I would give to these guys, whoever's doing the production, whether it be them or whoever did it for them, the production is pretty good. The people, the artists, not so much. In the case of Lil Peep and this Hellboy album, I don't know what the process they call is. I know what an ad lib is. You record the track, you do your initial rap, then you go back over and like Lil Jeezy, Young Jeezy was famously notorious for, yeah, that's right, Lil Jon. That's an ad lib. But I don't know what the process or the method is to where like, I know singers do it a lot to where like they'll sing they'll sing their song in a key and they'll sing the same verse in a different key or a different manner and whatnot. And they'll marry those things together and harmonize and all kinds of stuff. But whatever the case may be, Lil Peep shit sound like that with reverb and the slightest bit of auto-tune. So it sounds like him doing his rap verses or whatever the fuck you want to call that in 3 different keys with reverb and all kinds of stuff. And I was just like, I'm not feeling this shit, And last on the recommendation list was the uicideBoys, which is a New Orleans-based group from my home state of Louisiana. And just right off the rip, right off the intro, heavily reminded me of old school 3-6 Mafia and goddamn Bone Thugs and Harmony, way back when. I think early East 1999 and before that and shit. that's what it harkened me back to. Little White popped into my head. A little bit of Fat Pat popped into my head. I mean, their cadence, their style wasn't exactly like that, but with the beat making and how they, framed a lot of their music, heavily reminded me about 3 6 Mafia and whatnot. So I actually enjoyed that project. I forget what the name of. Oh, I Want to Die in New Orleans. That was the name of the album. I downloaded it. Out of the 3, I recommend them. I haven't listened to any of their other catalog other than this one, but I did rather enjoy. And this is your boy B Rob with the music corner this week. But that's all I really got. I'm gonna want to finish this Pop-Tart because I've been holding it in my hand talking about this music like it's a fucking cigar and shit. You got to take a drag off this motherfucker real quick. Yum. But that's about it. When I'm solo dolo, I do a little bit of about less than 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, get all my weekly venom and everything off of me and whatnot. And, yeah, that's about it. So I appreciate you for listening, especially listening to me chew on this Pop-Tart. And I'll see you next time.